Welcome everyone to an episode of the Sounds of the Hardwood podcast. It's been a long break since the last time we've done an episode, but Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then now New Year's. Happy New Year's Eve to everyone watching. Soto, Henry, Happy New Year's Eve.
Thank you,
Not
thank
quite
you.
New Year's
Thank
Likewise.
you.
there.
Definitely you too.
How was your guys' holiday?
It's good. Good, man. Relaxing, getting to chill. It's always a nice thing to do over the holidays.
I'm still recovering.
Any memorable gifts given or gifted? I should say.
I got a whole
Uh,
bunch of I got a whole bunch of gift cards.
Me
I
too.
mean, which listen, they come in handy. I have a whole bunch of Amazon gift cards. I
Hmm.
actually got my godmother got me a Fanatics gift card, so that should come in handy.
Got you.
Um, I got to
The Knicks hoodie. Yeah. Well, did you get that off the clearance rack or you paid full price for that one?
I got that really cheap at Amazon, so don't tell anyone.
We got two viewers. What up, David? Say what up, that man Henry.
Because
What up, man?
was it more than 20 at least?
What?
It was around that price range.
Man,
Shit,
bro,
I
you
got
can't
I
you
got a
can't
lot
you
of
can't
stuff.
be a Knicks fan spending like $5 on a hoodie, man. Come on, that's
$5.
disrespectful to your fellow Knicks fans. But oh yeah, Henry, did you get anything gifts that you or gift to gift that you felt was like really good?
I mean, I got a lot of good stuff. Now being a teacher, I got so many different gifts from my students, which was and their families, which was unexpected, but it was really nice.
Mm,
Came in handy, and then my family got me a lot of stuff. So things I needed and things I wanted. So it was pretty good. For me, Christmas was more for my little man. So he got basically everything. So like trampoline from trampolines to bikes to
mm,
Paw Patrol sets. So he's pretty much set for the rest of the year.
got you, got you. That's dope. That's dope. That's good to know. Everybody had a happy and safe holiday, especially
Hmm.
during these times now with COVID cases on the rise. But it's good that the family moments we can still embrace those and still enjoy those. But in today's episode, we're gonna go on the latest news in the NBA. First and foremost, before I continue, because we didn't have an episode, but rest in peace to the late great John Madden.
Yeah.
We send our condolences and prayers to his family and loved ones during this time. Uh, what is a moment of y'all that y'all remember the most about John Madden? Whether it's him as a commentary or stories you heard about his coaching career, what's something when you think his name, what pops out to
I know he had the signature boom
you?
catchphrase, and he was scared to fly planes. He said he was claustrophobic, but I know it's because of the plane flight that supposedly he was on, or something happened a long time ago that 22 people died, and he wound up using the Madden mobile. So he drove everywhere in the Madden mobile to every sports broadcasting event and game that he
Mm-hmm.
coached.
That's what
And of
you said.
course,
I'll
yeah,
be
he's
honest with you. I don't remember much of John Madden. Listen, I'll be honest with you. But what I do remember is him being on the cover of Madden for like consecutive years. He was like on the cover for like 15, 20 years of Madden,
Mm-hmm.
he was.
roughly,
Yeah.
more or less. But I do remember some of his commentary, but it's just unfortunate, it's crazy because they did a special on him the week before, like a
Mm-hmm.
tribute, and then a week later, he passes away. So I was like, oh damn.
Did they say
It's
what he
just
passed away of, or no? Not yet. Hasn't been announced.
I didn't like
I didn't
read
see
up.
it if that
Yeah, I
was
didn't see
disclosed.
anything. I don't think they released that many details on that.
I know he was 85.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know his age. But
But
for me, I'd probably say uh, similar to Soto's, the games. Like his voice is synonymous when I think of football game because I started playing on the PlayStation days or playing Madden, and he was the voice, and then it continued to now. That was my cheese. Like I used to always hit suggest a play, and then I'd be used to hearing John Madden telling me what to run on offense and defense, and a high football IQ. So that was my little cheese. Like, ask John. Oh, yep, that's what I'm hitting. Ask John because I don't know what the hell to run right now. I know, well, no, my dad's in his 50s, so he's familiar with him with the Raiders and that championship run and the
Like
Raiders
your
culture.
dad just commented now too. He said he was claustrophobic.
Yeah,
He was.
yeah,
I remember reading that he was claustrophobic. He was also scared to use planes
yeah.
because of the accident I told you.
It's almost kind of like the whole sports bus RV thing. He kind of like started that trend because now you see it with College Game Day. They do the RV and they follow around the college football, college basketball. So in a way, he kind of created that RV culture of going to sporting events because he did it himself.
Listen,
Yeah,
to go from
I wonder
California to New York in an
I
RV.
wonder if Madden will make him the cover in this in the next one.
A legacy edition.
Yeah,
Probably. Or like
Probably.
a call it a coach edition where it's just John Madden as coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was known for being a coach too. Like he won a change. I know he only won one time. I believe he only won one time. I think championship. Right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, but his winning percentage was insane.
Yeah. He's the coach of the Raiders when it comes to their winning.
His winning percentage was like, it's almost like they compared his winning percentage to like another sport, baseball. Pedro Martinez winning percentage, like it was so high, even though he didn't hit the threshold and the mark that usually other coaches did. But his winning percentage was just insane.
Yeah, it is.
I think he had like 100 wins and like I forget how many losses. Not that many losses at all. 100+ wins, and it's sort of like Pedro had 200+ wins and not even 100 losses, which is insane in baseball if you think about it.
Yeah. But it just goes to show his impact because we're in late 20s, early 30s, and we're talking about him and the age difference between the two of us, all of us, and him. So it just shows the impact that he's had on different generations of people that he's touched. And I guess that's the goal in life, that you reach and touch others.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But going in the direction of impacting and more and more of a positive light. Congratulations to Becky Hammon on finally getting her opportunity at a head coaching job, taking over from Bill Laimbeer, now becoming the head coach of the Los Angeles Aces, signing one of the largest coaches contracts in the history of WNBA to this point. She's a former player.
They used to be the Spurs team, right? The Las Vegas Aces. If I'm not mistaken. They were like the Spurs affiliate. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they moved to Los Angeles.
Yep.
No disrespect to Dallas Wings. I know they like to feel
Oh,
like they got.
by the way, your dad commented on the record. You said 75.9 win percentage and a 103, 32, and 7 ties, which is incredible.
Yeah, so
my man, he didn't even reach 40 losses, barely over 30.
So, that's a goated coach right there. But I wanted to see. To going back to Becky, I wanted to see her break become the pioneer of being the first female head coach in the NBA. But you take the opportunities where you get an opportunity. So, congrats to her. I know Soto is losing a great coach, a part of the San Antonio Spurs staff over there with Becky. So since you are the in-house, Spurs fan, how do you feel about, Becky getting an opportunity and from, watching from afar, the impact that she had on the Spurs? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I definitely I really wanted her to replace Pop. But as the years, I mean, she's been, with the organization since 2014. So, and then as the years went by, it's like it kind of seemed like she was probably going to be the next head coach. There was that one year where she won the Summer League tournament, and I think that's what opened eyes to a lot of people. In fact, that she was probably going to be the next one after Pop. But then, as the years went by, and Pop stayed with the organization, it was like, is she really the one to replace Pop? And then, last year, she was actually one of the finalists for the Trailblazers coach, which ultimately went to Chauncey Billups. And then it came across my mind that it's like, was she really going to get an NBA coaching gig? So, I'm really happy that this opportunity presented itself. She can use this. She could actually use this WNBA gig as a stepping stone. If she really, really succeeds and kills it on the WNBA scene, we can see her back in the NBA. But nonetheless, I'm super happy for her. She definitely deserves it. So, the Las Vegas Aces got a good one.
They got a talented team too, with Aja Wilson, Liz Cambage, and your girl Kelsey Plum.
Yeah, no, listen, right. But just to add a little bit more, like she should have been a head coach. Probably like, if not with the Spurs, with a different organization. but it's just unfortunate it really didn't happen. But hopefully, like I said, if she kills it in the WNBA, hopefully, somebody wakes up, opens their eyes, and gives her a NBA coaching gig, a head coach coaching gig.
Yeah.
I got you.
I mean, yeah. Just to touch on the comment, Keem, Norman Fisher put shame on the NBA for not making a woman head coach, this woman head coach happen, and I agree. I mean, we're in a day and age where things should be different. It shouldn't be like, for me. I think the NBA, like, I get the revenue growth and everything like that, but when it comes to the coaching carousel, I feel like the NBA still is very stagnant when it comes to it. Yeah, I think that there were some new coaches this year, but I still think that a lot of these other coaches do get recycled through and get chances. And I think that we need to see like this, like, I think the NBA is a game that's evolving. And I think that with the game evolving, I think we need to have coaches that evolve. So yeah, having a woman head coach would have been a great thing. Becky Hammon's obviously been with the Spurs a long time. So definitely shout out to her for taking the gig with the Las Vegas Aces and becoming the highest paid coach in WNBA history too, because now she also made history as that as well. It would have been nice to see her in the NBA. Do I think at some point she circles back? Absolutely. I think that probably was her long-term goal, to be an NBA coach. But like I said, she's just going to take what she can get right now. And right now, becoming the highest paid coach on one of the up-and-coming teams is a big thing. But I do think the NBA does need to stop this carousel of coaches and start giving new coaches, women included, a chance to shine and run an NBA team, because I think it can be done.
It's just that there's a trend where all these teams they're looking into former players as coaches, and for example, Chauncey Billups, he has no coaching experience.
No,
just up until last year, he was an analyst on ESPN, or
neither does Steve Nash.
And with Becky, she's been under Pop since 2014, learning from one of the greatest NBA minds of all time.
There's several coaches who have gotten coaching jobs because they were longtime assistants. Emi Udoka, who's now with the Boston Celtics, that's where he started.
Right.
So
that's deserving,
Budenholzer as well as another coach.
Yep. So I got a name for you that I think should get a chance at some point in the future too. And he was part of the iconic Pistons team, and he's a coach for the Grizzlies, if I'm not mistaken, still right now. Tayshaun Prince. Another basketball mind that was a defensive player, a genius. I mean, the list goes on, but I agree with Soto says. Chauncey Billups and Steve Nash, even though he's been a coach for a year now, have basically gotten chances to be, had no coaching experience whatsoever, and basically leaving the chance.
And it's nothing against them, because, for example, Steve Nash and Chauncey Billups were two of the smartest players to ever play the game, and I think they just went based off that. And nothing against Chauncey Billups, but I think Hammond should have been picked over Chauncey Billups.
Oh, I agree 1,000%. I think that should have been the change. I think that's the mentality, and then the analytics play a little bit of a part in it too. Just with the mind and everything else. And I mean, I'm not one for the analytics. I get that they tell
statistics.
I know they tell the picture of certain things, but statistics don't help win games either. They can help put the lineups and everything else and whatever works, but statistics don't help win games. Statistics can't tell you if you're gonna have an off game. That's how I feel.
True.
They can't tell you if I'm a Knicks fan, but they can't tell you if somebody like Becky Hammon would be a better coach and revolutionize things as the New York Knicks, as Tibbs goes back to his old school stubborn-headed ways. I'm gonna use that example because
you just had to add.
You did not talk about Tibbs. What is he's the defensive coach of the year? What are you doing over here?
I mean, that speaking of that was my prediction last year for coach of the year, but obviously it's taken a complete 180 this year. But I'm trying to give an example of somebody that obviously Tibbs is a good point. Another coach that's been recycled and been used a lot over a coach like Becky Hammon, who could have been the chance and pioneered a new revolution in the NBA of being the first woman head coach NBA. Yeah. But hopefully, this will lead to that at some point.
Hopefully the NBA gets caught up and captures that slice of history. Don't be the last one to do it. Don't let another league do it. And then now the NBA follows suit after all the other leagues finally have given that opportunity.
It's usually how it happens, unfortunately, but
somebody got to be the first, right? But we did say a lot about recycling here.
Oh God.
Because of the pandemic and COVID and protocols in NBA, we have seen the replacement teams appear or the comeback kids appear in the NBA. Players who were in your local YMCA leagues trying to keep themselves in shape, no disrespect, but in the hopes of trying to come back into the NBA, have now been given 10-day contracts. So we have the biggest names: Isaiah Thomas, Kennefa Reed, Joe Johnson, and Greg Monroe. I'm not leaving out anybody to be disrespectful. I'm just saying I don't want to say a name and somebody goes, "Who the hell is that?" So at least these players are people that people know who they are. Kennefa Reed was at the height of his career at one point, the Manimal, was one of the defensive players of the year. Isaiah Thomas, MVP candidate until that unfortunate hip injury. Joe Johnson, ISO Joe with the Atlanta Hawks and Coach Mike Woodson. And then Greg Monroe. If you made a black version of Enos Kanter, you'd get Greg Monroe. So they're essentially,
Dead.
but they have, and DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie. I forgot about that. He's another person that was on a 10-day and that was on a full-time contract. So we do have the comeback kids in the NBA, and they're playing well in the times they have getting. Greg Monroe had a double-double in his first game. Isaiah Thomas scored, I think, 19 points his first game. In the last 4 games, DeMarcus Cousins averaging 16, I think 8 rebounds and 4 assists. So
also don't forget
well.
Brandon Knight came back too and dropped a couple 17 bombs.
Brandon Knight. I forgot about him after he got baptized by DeAndre Jordan. Like once I seen that, I was
waiting for somebody to say the baptized
DeAndre. He's alive? His soul got saved because after that,
I feel like he's always on the other end of a highlight reel.
He was actually, I think he was with the Knicks G League for a bit, the Westchester Knicks for a bit. I remember right.
Okay. So he stepped back on the NBA court.
Yeah, he's back. He's playing with Dallas. I think he's in COVID now, though. Unfortunately,
Jeremy Lin would be back in the NBA, but he got that China contract.
Word. He would be. Well, all right. Let me ask you this though: out of those that you remember or that you've seen that signed a 10-day contract, which one do you think was like the most, or can be the most impactful for the team?
Okay, well, I won't say DeMarcus Cousins because he's the obvious one because he's on a full-time contract now for the rest of the season. I think Isaiah Thomas with Denver because they badly need somebody that can put the ball in the basket other than
you mean with the Mavericks?
Mavericks. Excuse me, Mavericks. Yeah. My apologies.
I'm about to say he
I was like, oh shit.
Because I remember the other day Ann said Denver, so that got stuck in my head.
Oh, okay.
Dallas because they badly need somebody else to score. Other than
he's in protocol now, unfortunately, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's in protocol. So I hope that doesn't, change him getting that opportunity. I hope that like Dallas goes, okay, you in protocol, we're gonna have to find another player because I think he can help them off the bench because they badly need somebody else to score because Tim Hardaway Jr. is hit or miss sometimes. So I think that would be one long term could definitely help that team.
Well, that's great because now I don't have to talk much on this segment because that's exactly who I was going for. I was like, all right, it's definitely Isaiah Thomas because Dallas's bench, they need some scoring options. I mean, I was also thinking about the obvious one, which is Cousins, because signs a 10-day contract and is an automatic starter. He's already a starter. I mean, we don't know how Brook Lopez with his back issues, so you just pluck in DeMarcus Cousins at center, and he's been producing for them. So
Brook Lopez is out for the year, so it looks like that's Cousins' job to basically
exactly. And then off the bench you have Bobby Portis, who's been absolutely killing it.
The Knicks should have kept that man.
They should have.
Yeah, but they wanted to go for everything else. So I'm not going to get into
that. You can say his name. You want to. It's
no.
Right there.
I'm good. I'm not even gonna touch it.
He's holding back, saying it's like right there. So
I'm not gonna
come off.
He wants to say it.
I'm not gonna touch it, but
I think you safe. I don't think be in the chat. You safe.
No. Look, we got another comment about what I mentioned earlier about analytics. They put analytics is the most overrated and most misrepresented way to analyze sports. Agreed. Numbers do lie. For example, the 3-point revolution is a hoax. The league-wide percentage is 34%, an average which is 12 made for every 35 attempts. So yeah, I mean, No. I mean, and to touch on what you guys said, I guess you both had Boogie. I have somebody else just because I want to just be a little different and give another take. Obviously, we
I
don't
swear to
want
God,
to
if you say Damian Dotson, I'm going to lose it.
He was undefeated for a minute there when he came back.
I'm not
right?
going to say no. I'm not going to say Damian Dotson. I'm going to say Joe Johnson. You got the veteran person that's in the locker room. I think Boston has a lot of young players on that team, not enough veteran vocal voices besides maybe Big Al.
Okay.
And I think Boston is a young team because they have a young coach too, in the former Spur, that Soto's boy. Another Spur light. Yep. Spur light. But like I said, I want to give a different take. I didn't want to just give
I just hope they give him actual minutes.
I do, because I think he's still got game for 40 years old. And
Well,
not only that,
absolutely.
and I think he's a great locker room presence to have. That's why I picked him, because I think Boston needs a little bit of that, because all the chatter they had earlier this year with Marcus Smart making comments and everything. I think having another vet come in there could sort of stabilize that locker room a little bit, because I think Al Horford can do it, but he only could do so much. I mean, I think having a veteran in there helps them and could bring a little bit more unity and family in there.
So
And
you
I
just
think
gonna disrespect Dennis Schroeder like that? He not a veteran presence.
he ain't that old. He's not over the 35 and over. He ain't the 35 and over age yet.
If you give Joe Johnson a good 15 minutes,
he gonna produce.
We're not giving him starters or six man
ISO Joe,
but he can easily get you 8 to 12 points per game.
Yeah,
which is something that the Celtics need, because they need something off the bench. They need another scorer, because
I mean, he's been staying in
so
shape.
We gonna act like Payne Pritchard don't get buckets?
Oh, okay. Listen,
the other day, they're a young team.
Nothing against Payne Pritchard, but the other day, I was just watching the game. I forgot who it was. It was Celtics versus. Help me out here. Was it? I don't know.
Was it?
He was just shooting lights out, and I was just like,
"That's that last national televised game he's talking about."
Yeah,
how they played.
It was Brooklyn, I think.
What happened?
It might have been Brooklyn. I think it was Brooklyn.
Was it Brooklyn?
I
don't know. All I know is he was on fire. He's built like that, and I was just like, oh wow. I think it was a game where Smart was out. I think because of the wrist, or I don't know what the case may be, but he was lighting it up. I was just like,
Minnesota was a game that he had a good game. He had 24 against Minnesota.
Was it Minnesota? It probably wasn't against Minnesota.
He had 24.
Was it the Clippers?
8 and 6.
The Bucks?
Somebody said the Celtics need Tatum and Brown to pass the damn ball. I agree.
Well, all right. Here's the thing. I feel like, and I've told this to Ant, who's the Celtic fan. I feel like, well, it's not obvious. It's obvious. Tatum and Brown can't coexist. I feel
we know that already. And one of
I feel like Tatum, Brown can play alongside Tatum, but Tatum can't play alongside Brown.
No, because Tatum wants to take 30 damn shots a game, 40 shots a game, and shoot subpar 30%.
And as crazy as it may sound, I told Dan I would take Brown over Tatum any day.
You take a two-way player. It's smart. You take a two-way player over. You take a two-way over.
Take Brown.
But unfortunately, we don't know what they'll do. But, we won't bash the Celtics because Ant's not hitting.
I'll tell you this though: if they ever decide to keep Jaylen Brown and trade Jason Tatum, they're going to get a hell of a haul for Tatum. I'll tell you that much. So.
Yeah, but I feel like they would trade Brown.
Yeah, because he got the more value in a sense.
He does, but that would be the wrong move on their part because, like you said, so a good point. Two-way players are a rare commodity in the NBA, and now they don't really preach a lot of defense in the NBA. Unfortunately, it's more just
because I just had a brief conversation with Ant and how Ant was calling Tatum Batman and Brown Robin, and I was like, bro, I see it the other way. I see Brown as Batman and Tatum Robin.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I could be completely wrong, but that's just how I see it.
Yeah, I think one more thing to add. I know we were talking about players that are revelation. I think a couple players that need to get contracts are probably Jamal Crawford, J.R. Smith.
Crossover.
J.R. Smith is another one he's been calling out. Chris
Smitty.
Bosh threw his name out there recently. So, I mean,
After
it'd be
seeing
nice.
Mario Chalmers sign.
Well, I mean, it would be nice to see Jamal Crawford back because
So he got championship experience. So.
Jay Crossover's moves are legendary out here.
Oh yeah, of course.
So I mean that, and then Crawford. Crawford was a really good player for a long time. J.R. Smith, even though he's a bonehead, he's hit some big shots and he's won some awards, so you can't knock him for that. And he's a champion. Can't knock him for that either way. And
yeah, I mean, those two are two guys that can provide a little bit of scoring offense. Those teams that desperately need somebody to spark the bench for the second unit, they're two guys right there.
And then you got Bosh. I know he had the heart issue, but maybe it's gone. You never know. And then you got one more name that nobody's talking about, Mr. Dancing with the Stars himself, Iman Schomburg.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he can stick to Dancing with the Stars.
But remember, he's a solid defender. And teams do need solid defenders nowadays. There's teams that are hurting out there that don't have perimeter defense. He can still play perimeter defense. He was always known for being a good defender. Can't knock that.
I mean, he showed he still got his footwork, right?
Is he gonna dance his way to the defender?
He might. He might
he still got elite footwork.
He might start doing.
But
he might do the tango, maybe.
He got clamps on Hall of Fame.
He might do the tango with some of them at some point.
But I don't think his phone is gonna be hitting anytime soon, unfortunately.
Hey, he might do the Victor Cruz a little bit when he starts getting defenders and stuff.
He slandered LeBron. That's just a phone call from LeBron to Adam Silver. Yeah.
Nah, but I mean, look, if we can give players that haven't been in the league a long time, like Greg Monroe, who basically was playing in the YMCA's and staying in shape, a chance, we can give players like Shumpert and Jamal Crawford another second chance to play too.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've shown. Look, Kennefa Reed's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of players that are overseas that now see that these 10 days are going out, want to make a comeback.
I thought of another player. There's Michael Beasley. There's somebody else that could, because y'all said scorers. He can score.
True.
I mean,
is he still playing Puerto Rico?
I'm
not sure.
Yeah, he is. He's still in Puerto Rico. And just to throw a name out there, because Coach Norman Fisher said Lakers need perimeter defenders. Lakers make that call. Make that call to Shumpert and get him in there.
But
he should have been nice to LeBron.
See, like, they need another player like Avery Bradley, because Avery Bradley is their best perimeter defender, and he can score. Well, I mean, he's not known to be a scorer, but he can score.
I'm waiting for Keane to say Avery Bradley. Avery,
yeah.
I remember.
No. I don't have a problem with Avery Bradley.
You were slandered him a couple weeks ago. I remember
he can't make an open shot. That's a whole different conversation. He can play defense, but open shots and him are not getting along right now. The only thing I didn't like about the Russell Westbrook trade, and I will continue to say that, is that it came at the cost of KCP. KCP was the Lakers' best three-point shooter and defensive player other than Danny Green. So to lose him and not get back somebody who does what he did, that hurt the most. I know everybody was like,
they should have just ran it back. Just should have kept Kuzma, should have kept
KCP.
And now they're trying to trade Westbrook for God knows who. Because
I will trade him for a Popeye chicken sandwich at this point. I don't really care.
Look, I'm gonna give a real take here. I'm gonna be real here. Keep a real take. The chances of Russell Westbrook for Ben Simmons are basically less than 1%.
I will take John Wall. I will take anybody. I don't care.
John Wall. I don't know.
Not named Russell Westbrook would do the Lakers service right now. The man is at the point where he's turning the ball over, dribbling off his own foot, and missing wide open layups. He is down terrible.
He's close to
his confidence is gone.
No, he's just listen, Westbrook is a good player. He's a great player.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it's just that he's clumsy. He's really clumsy and he
wants a downhill player. That's what it is.
Not only that, and it's like he wants to be the hero, and it's like, bro.
Don't tell me. Don't even hurt my feelings with that.
You can't be a hero.
LeBron and Melo wide open, and we rim stuffing.
You can't be a hero if you got no jump shot. You got no mid range anymore. He used to have a good back in the Thunder day, he had a good ass mid range
And could make free throws. He can't
and
make
could
free
make
throws
free
no
throws.
more.
Now he can't. He can't. It's like he forgot how to shoot. It's like he can't shoot a mid range.
Coach Norman Fisher said it would probably be John Wall. John Wall would be a great fit.
It would be a great fit. Well, he's a
Give me John
defensive
Wall.
guy. He was defensive, John Wall. He couldn't shoot, but he shoots better than
And
Westbrook does.
John Wall doesn't care about his stats. Like
No,
he will find the open guy.
John Wall could finish a game with 2 points and 15 assists. As long as his team get the dub, he'd be happy. That's the type of player he was. Russell Westbrook, look, I know that Cat said those comments about Westbrook, and I know Cat shouldn't be saying that because Cat's the same way. But was Cat really wrong with those comments about Russell's stat pattern?
He wasn't.
I didn't say he was wrong. I just said the irony of that.
Like, well, yeah, of course.
That's the thing that.
Of course, but we all know Westbrook would deny it till he's blue in the face. Russell Westbrook is a great player, yes, but is he a stat pattern? 100%, absolutely.
Well, I've always said he's like the Penny Hardaway of this era. Like before Penny got hurt, Penny was like a great point guard, elite level point guard who could do the same things, get you.
Yeah, but did Penny really stat pad though?
But his issue with Shaq was he felt like the two of them felt like as if one or the other should have been the focal point of the team. So Shaq felt, okay, if you're gonna say it's Penny, I feel I provide more than Penny does. So he went to the Lakers, and Penny was like, "This is my team. I got this." But then, unfortunately, the injuries slowed him down.
I got one name to toss out to you now before we go to the next topic, and it's a similar situation. Kyrie Irving, same thing. He was tired of being secondary string, and that's why he went to Boston. He wanted to run it all. Remember, he got tired of being with LeBron and wanted to do his own thing and whatever. Same thing. Kyrie wanted to be Batman, and he did not want to be. Kyrie didn't want to be Robin.
He Batman right now because the Brooklyn Nets don't put that emblem in the sky.
But you got it. You can't.
Help
you know what I'm
us.
saying? Penny wanted that too. Penny wanted to be Batman, and he didn't want to be Robin.
Kyrie was just young and didn't know. It's kind of like the Kobe effect. Like Kobe got to the point, maybe rest in peace, where he didn't want to play with Shaq because he felt that he was the best player. He was that guy that he could lead a team to a championship. I feel like Kyrie feels he can lead a team to a championship. I think he just got unlucky in Boston. Like the combination between the two of them just didn't work together, so that's why it didn't work. But now he's in Brooklyn. It's a whole different thing. You guys, man, KD, James, he got to figure it out.
I agree with Coach Norman Fisher says too. All NBA players play for stats and personal achievements called contract incentives. Stop at the hypocrisy with that's just Russell. I mean, look, I get it. I don't know if they have it built in their contracts. Players really don't.
Yeah, there's incentives thing.
Players, yeah, I'm sure there is, but players
like Klay Thompson got snubbed out of money when he didn't make a.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, but I'm not. The players do have that, but for me, I think Russell Westbrook, his whole career has been defined as, Well,
that's his. I think that's just a chip on his shoulder. Like he wants to constantly prove that he belongs, and he just plays that hard. And there's some players who play so hard that it helps the team, and some players who play so hard it hurts the team.
Yeah, but when you play so hard,
when it's Westbrook, it's a combination of both.
Yeah, but when you play it so hard and then you don't win and you don't change how you're playing hard. But
that's the thing. He doesn't have that. Like he doesn't have that winning mentality. He just doesn't. I'm sorry. He just doesn't. I'm gonna get mine. That's his mentality. I'm gonna get mine. Whether it's points, whether it's rebounds, whether it's assists, I'm gonna get mine.
That could also be his mindset of towards winning. There's some players who are wired like I have to do these things in order for my team to win. But that happens. But I don't want to spend too much time on Russell because I know Henry will write a book, front page, 160-page essay on Russell Westbrook. Now, there were some trades. I mean, but it's effect of Ricky Rubio suffering an ACL injury. Fortunately for Ricky Rubio, devastating injuries have robbed him of what he could have been. It's a lottery pick with high expectation levels that people thought was going to be amongst the great NBA point guards, Jace Kidd, Nash, etc. But injuries took that from him. So the Cavaliers have acquired Rondo. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with Rondo, but they do need a point guard because they lost Colin Sexton and they lost Ricky Rubio. So they do need an experienced point guard to come in.
And they also lost Garland too. Is in protocol.
Yeah, Garland is in
Garland's in protocol. So they do need a point guard. So I can see why, kind of a similar idea with like Atlanta had with bringing in Rondo to try to be a mentoring to those young guards and play spot minutes when need. B. So we're on the topic of the Cavs, so I'll explore because I know talking about what Rondo is going to do, not knowing how many minutes he is going to play, it's not really a great thing. But we'll talk about the Cavs and what have you seen or not seen from the Cavs, and what's I should say not seen because they've been playing well. So what has surprised you the most? I should say better question. What has surprised you the most about the Cavaliers this year?
They're
That big
winning.
lineup, and that they're winning. Their big lineups are working, and they're winning. Yeah.
No, but all right, in all seriousness, I felt like the Rondo trade to Cavs, it was a great trade for the Cavs because you have all these hefty contracts on your team, and Rondo would be the cheapest
Yep.
option out there. And we know like Rondo, when it comes to passing ability, I think Rondo is above Ricky Rubio. They're right there. You know, they're both great passers. The only difference is I would say Rubio is a more aggressive scorer than Rondo is.
Correct.
But he's a leader. He has, you know, playoff experience that could carry over, and he can teach the young fellows like Garland. So, you know, I think it's a pretty big pickup, even though whether he's getting minutes or not. Just having a veteran presence like that, and he's going to set everyone up. So, you know, again, he's not going to be scoring because Rubio was on a scoring tear. Like he would average 15,
Get a
20.
career high against the Knicks.
We're not going to talk about
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
We're not going to talk about that. But yeah, no, like it's a solid pickup. You know, again with all these like hefty contracts with Jared Allen and Laurie Marketing, so you know they didn't want to give up too much for a player. So just getting Rondo and his cheap contract, I think it was a win. And they're 20-15, so they're definitely trying to get that, you know, a playoff push in. I don't. They definitely don't want to, you know, be part of the play-in tournament. But they're doing a lot better than you know what everyone expected. I heard like chatter that this Cleveland team, you know, reminded people of that big lineup that the Pistons had a couple years ago with Josh Smith, Drummond, and Monroe. But it's actually working because Laurie Marketing is an outside shooter, spreads the floor. Evan Mobley has been a blessing for them because
I wanted Toronto to take him.
Yeah, no. So I had him as a rookie of the year, and I think he's up there. I think he's 1 and 2. But we'll talk that in the next segment. But you know, everything is just clicking for them. My question is, you know, regarding the Cleveland Cavaliers is, you know, you see the success happening right now, and it's happening without Sexton. So what happens with Sexton? Like, because you know he's out with I think it's the torn meniscus.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what happens, you know, with Sexton like after the year? Like, do they trade him? Do they keep him?
I don't think they're gonna keep him.
I think that I'm gonna say I was gonna add him before Henry went. He was a part of that fast start that they got off to this season. Because at one point they were first place in the Eastern Conference, and he was playing really well. Actually, he was playing some defense too and passing. So I think he had career highs almost and everything.
I had him on my fantasy team. I could tell you exactly what his stats were looking like this season before he got hurt. I think I actually drafted him surprisingly, which was a shocker to me because I always stayed away from him.
Because you don't like his defensive efforts.
He was averaging 16 with a 3-pointer made a game, 3 rebounds, career high, 2 assists, career high.
You gotta start somewhere.
And a steal, career high.
Oh yeah, so he had career highs. So he was having a good year.
So he was playing better. I'm mad. I said 3 rebounds, career high, and it's just my man's the Norman Powell, get buckets and get the single digits. 1, 1, and 1. He got his quota for the day.
That's what they got Rubio for, so he could have been.
No. I need to address that comment that just came out. Hell no.
What?
Hell no. Colin Sexton is not going to be no damn Nick. No.
He might. He might
No.
just.
No.
Never say
He
never.
might
Never
just. You
say-
never know.
Hard pass.
Exactly.
All right, next
You'd
segment. We
be
good.
big mad this offseason.
Well,
We got it, Coach.
he also said it's early to crown the Cavs or anything. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just like looking at like what they've done so far, 20 and 15. Nobody expected them to be,
people thought they was gonna have a record like Houston.
Right. And then I was just quickly looking at their like schedule, and it's like, it's not bad. It's a pretty comfortable schedule. So, but yeah. We'll see like, at the All-Star break or even after to see,
Yep.
how do we truly categorize the Cavs, but they haven't been doing that bad, so we'll just have to wait and see. But Sexton will eventually be a Nick.
No.
That's a good one.
I think just to touch on the topic we said real quick, Rondo was a good pickup. I think he's going to get big minutes because of the injuries and things that are going to go on. I think it's a good veteran presence to have with the Cavs. I think he's going to help them out with the passing and defensive capabilities he has. He's not aggressive scorer like Rubio, even though he can score. And actually, believe it or not, yeah. And believe it or not, as he's gotten older, his shooting has improved a lot.
And where do you leave the emergence of Kevin Love? I mean,
Kevin Love is looking like the OK Love again.
He's in shape.
And guess who got him on their fantasy team?
Well, I mean, Henry, you made so many trades.
I think we playing
nobody had Kevin Love in the league. He was a free agent.
Nobody picked him up. You're absolutely right.
You playing my GM with the trade override.
He was old. He was only owned at 8% of leagues at one point. Now he's owned over 50.
You just accepting every trade.
No, he's playing well. I mean, he's part of their success. I mean, again, the floor spacing, like Soto said, is a good example. The Josh Smith, Drummond, and
they didn't have the same skills as offensively speaking, marketing.
You know what's funny? I can
Evan
actually
Mobley
really see that happening.
Are more skilled offensively than they were at that point in time in their
So, Keem, did you see what your dad just wrote in the comments? He said Kevin Love to the Lakers, and I actually could see that.
I would trade Russell Westbrook for Kevin Love any day of the week. I ain't gonna say.
But I think Cleveland would probably reroute Russell Westbrook to 13.
I would not sit there and.
Do you think they'll give him like THT?
I mean, THT out here looking like Allen Houston. So I mean, I'll take him.
Whoa!
I'll take him off. He gets
at this point. Honestly, at this point, I would take anybody for Kevin Love if I'm the Lakers.
Because THT,
are we talking
he's a good player, but he's inconsistent.
Are we talking Allen Houston pre-injury or Allen Houston after injury?
No, I'm talking about the one that had one good game in that Miami Heat series and disappeared for the rest of it. That's what THT does. He shows up one game and then the other 4 on the rest of the week he don't appear. But
I just feel like there's so much pressure on him. For no reason.
Don't hit me with that.
Listen, come on.
That's what everybody says about young Laker players. There's too much pressure on them.
But especially on THT though. I mean, rightfully so on Kuzma and Russell and Randall. They're all first round picks, but THT is a second round pick. And I feel like there's a lot of.
That's what it is. It's because he's showing flashes, especially in the playoffs. Like he's played well in the playoffs.
He said, "Stop." Allen Houston is the greatest. Oh, now he's trolling.
He runs y'all G League, so he must be on his own.
He's trolling now, but no, I'm. I don't know. I think Rondo pickup was a good pickup. Lakers also did create a roster spot in that trade because they got Denzel Valentine, who they instantly waived. So Lakers are looking
at probably Denzel will get an opportunity in the NBA. He was
what the Lakers are prepping for? They're prepping for a buyout.
Yeah, maybe a John
Wall.
They're
just
somebody like
they're not buying John Wall. They're not buying John Wall. That contract's too much.
Positioning themselves.
No, they want to. He don't want to be bought out. That's the difference there. He doesn't want. He wants to be traded. Houston does want to buy him out. So there's the difference of between the two of them.
Yeah. They're just positioning themselves. They have that open roster spot, and they're probably going to keep it open until.
I'm gonna keep it real. I think maybe John Wall could be getting a buyout, like you said, Keem. Even though he doesn't want it, Houston does. I look at it sort of similar to how the Knicks all of a sudden opened a roster spot when Kemba got bought out. Maybe there's some unwritten. I'm not going to say it's out there, but I'm sure some of these GMs get tips about if a player is going to potentially be bought out or different things like that. So maybe somebody knows something we don't know. Yeah. That's why the Lakers did it. It could be a power play move.
Very true.
Because Kemba to Knicks was unexpected.
Yeah.
Honestly, And then all of a sudden he gets bought out. All of a sudden he signs with the Knicks. So maybe the Knicks had the intel that he was going to get bought out, and let's get him on the team. Maybe the Lakers have intel on something that we don't know about.
Word, because
I hope so, bro. I hope so. I can't watch this. We out here looking like the Clippers. I can't support. I'm about to start watching Laker games with a bag over my head. I can't be seen in these streets like this. But
you got to start watching Knicks games with your dad.
No, that's even worse because I got to see ISO Randall, and then I get mad.
Randall's in COVID, so you don't got to worry about.
So what I'm gonna see now? ISO RJ. I don't want to see that either.
No, we're gonna see the emergence of Obi Toppin. That's what we're gonna see.
I mean, Obi Toppin should be playing. I mean, but he don't play enough defense for 2016. That's no.
And I feel like
I
honestly feel like Obi's gonna make the most out of it.
He will. He's still young though. Remember, he was a rookie last year, so
yeah. I know, but that's the thing. He was like in the draft class. He was one of the. I think he was the oldest rookie. He was 22, so he's turning 24. So I think this is a golden opportunity for him to show. Listen, and to be honest with you, real quick before we go to the next segment, the Knicks play better when Obi Toppin's on the floor.
And same thing faster. And Kemba.
Because exactly, the quicker pace, and just like Keem just said, that ISO Randall bullshit stops. So
I've been saying the ISO Randall bullshit all season though, and Tibbs just keeps going to it. And I know they gave him the contract extension, but I'm just gonna throw this out there before we move to the next segment. You can't be putting up no motherfucking 5 points per game and getting $20 million a year. I'm sorry, that shit ain't gonna happen.
What you mean he's out of his Gatorade boost and skill boost? He got to go to the city. He's out of his boosties.
I'm trying to keep my language PG, but I can't for that because my man's making $20 million and only putting up 5 points, shooting 3 for 33 from the field and 1 from 13 from 3. Not gonna happen.
He had a bad stretch of games. You know what I mean?
He's had a bad stretch all season though. He's gone away from what's been effective to doing something completely different, and it's not working. And he needs to go back to what was working before.
So look, real quick, according to Woj, and he puts ESPN sources, the NBA and the NBPA have agreed on new protocols that would allow COVID players to clear isolation after 5 days.
They can test out.
Yeah,
I heard that on the radio the other day.
Yeah, but see, I mean, I get it. People are saying that, but nobody knows what strand somebody has. Number one. Number two, the other part of the 5 days is you still have to wear a mask for 5 days either way, and you could still be contagious. So, I mean, I just think that unfortunately to say, we've just catered to what other people want now with that, and nobody's stars on the court. Nobody's going to be safe anymore. So that's my 2 cents on it. But
we'll move on now. That way, everybody's had their soapbox conversations when they've got to express, what they've been feeling deep down inside and holding it in for a while.
Hey, King, we haven't heard your soapbox, so we got.
I just gave you my soapbox. I don't acknowledge that team in LA right now. I don't know what they are. Like basically, the Lakers have become the Los Angeles LeBrons because he's the only person that seems to be showing up for games right now. Everybody else, I'm looking like, okay, I know AD's hurt. You know what I mean? And I know, all the AD slander, they're gonna piggyback with the Charles Barkley joke, street clothes. I get it. I mean, the man is in street clothes a lot. I understand.
AD's always been hurt.
But Russell, I mean, I was coming to your defense, bro. You're making it hard right now. That Westbrook name.
I had to get a shot at you for the Rubio Knicks game.
The Westbrook thing is it's looking like it might be a reality out here in these streets. But triple doubles with 7 turnovers. I'm not a fan of those. I know you're excited. You got a triple double, but I'm not a fan. We need somebody to come back. Magic Johnson, you got something left in the tank. Jerry West, y'all got something left in the tank. Anybody. Well, he never actually played for the Lakers. He was hurt.
Is he going to get
Steve Nash back?
I'm going to throw this out there before we
Gary Payton, somebody that once played for the Lakers.
To our NBA awards, and I just want to hear it's yes or no. Do you think Russell Westbrook will get a quintuple double with turnovers?
It's going to happen at some point in time. It's Russell Westbrook. I mean, he's coming close. Soto knows he hasn't on his fantasy team. He came close several games where he's like 8, 7, or 6. You might as well just go for it at that point.
He's got close to quadruple doubles with turnovers.
Since we're doing categories in ESPN fantasy, I was like, I was at I was in a position where I was like, damn, I have no centers. And Russell Westbrook, he's a triple-double machine. So he could probably get my rebounds. So let me just pluck him in.
I'm about to piss that off about 2 seconds. Hey, so I forgot to say we're gonna change the rules to the categories. We're gonna add turnovers in there.
Well, yeah, you can do that. You can do that last year because I won't be selecting him. You can do that next year. I'm sorry, but I'm not bringing him.
Russell Westbrook will sabotage your whole team. But that's an unfortunate thing.
He gonna sabotage your whole team. He gonna have 15 turnovers, 15 assists, and
at this point,
18 rebounds and like 12 points, and then
at this point, not to linger on Russell. He might as well just go for that quadruple double, bro. Like, fuck it, just go for it.
Coach said Stephen A. was right about Russell. Sorry to say,
yeah, I agree.
I mean, listen, sometimes what Stephen A. says is nonsense, but he hit it on the dot regarding Russell.
Yeah.
A lot of times Stephen A. Smith says out of pocket, but sometimes he can be right with certain
I agreed, like the whole time. Like, this was gonna be his test. This was the team that you said going in, they have championship aspirations. They've won a championship with some of the players there. You're coming in to help them try to win another championship. And if it doesn't work, then now you're gonna get criticism like you never
That's
got
on you,
before.
yeah.
That's on you. Yeah. He's on the blame.
But to be more positive, Russell was once an MVP caliber player. So we're going to go with our first quarter awards here. Who we think on in the contention to win end of the season awards to this point. It changes like almost every week, it seems. But there's enough of a body of work to come to some form of opinion of, MVP, most improved, rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, coach of the year, and sixth man. So,
why don't you go first, Keem? Me and Soto
go
first. You go. We got to hear you first. You got to get you out of your box. Let's go.
Make me go first, or then if I'm going first, then
what's your pick for? I'll tell you. Let's go, coach of the year. Since you want to slander me about my coach of the year, let's go first. You
coach of the year. Well, I mean, I could say the obvious choices here. I could.
And don't troll me by saying fucking Tibbs, because I swear to God.
Why would I say Tibbs? I wanted Tibbs fired for putting Kimba on the bench. That's a whole nother conversation.
Because you like to troll me with the Knicks all the time.
Okay. I would say if they continue to the way they're playing, then I'll say JB Bickerstaff. Okay. If they continue playing like this, because this is a team we thought was going to be bottom of the league lottery team, and that's not what they are. They're at least going to be in a place where they can compete for that 6 to 10 spot in the Eastern Conference, which for a team that has been a lottery team the last few seasons, that's a big increase. And like you said, like we mentioned earlier, they're playing with an untraditional lineup. He's starting like 3 7-footers at one time. Yeah. Which the rest of the league wants to go small in space and shoot threes. And he said, no, I'm going to put my 3 bigs on the court, 2 of which are skilled. And the Nets every day got to be looking at Nicholas Claxton and going, why did we keep you instead of Jared Allen? What was we smoking when we made that decision to keep you over Jared Allen? Can we switch y'all back? Yeah. So he's played very well. And JB Bickerstaff has figured something else. Underrated hire. A lot of people was like, but it turned out to be a good choice.
JB Bickerstaff is good at player development. So most improved, Keem. Most improved.
You already know who I'm going most improved. I already said this. It's the man that makes the Philadelphia fans go, Ben who? Fuck that nigga. Tyrese Maxey is my most improved because he has basically made Philadelphia 76ers fans, not even worry about what Ben Simmons is doing right now. He has played, especially last night against the Nets, 25 points and a big win. He's basically made Ben Simmons irrelevant to the Philadelphia 76ers to the point where this is why Daryl Morey can sit back and say, I have no reason to rush trading you, big fella. Because if I'm getting better production, he's giving them more production than Ben Simmons was giving them offensively for not even a third of the contract price. Yeah. Nuts. So Ben Simmons, I know people are going to say he's dealing with mental health, but in the words of DJ Ebro, you played yourself because now you have no value to yourself. You about to get traded for anybody. If I was them, I would call up Houston and say, I'll give you Ben Simmons. I'll let you go play on the worst team in the league at this point. Matter of fact, call up China and say, what can we get? for Ben Simmons at this point.
An article came out. Bleacher Report said that Ben Simmons will probably be traded by the trade deadline. It won't linger anymore.
I trade him to the worst team in the league. Let him go play for the worst team in the league where he ain't gonna make the playoffs for the next 5 years.
Pistons.
Let him go play for the worst team in the league.
6 man of the year, Keem. 6 man of the year.
6 man. That's Alec Burks. I know he has games where he started, but he hasn't started enough games to put him out of contention for that award. So I would say Alec Burks. When he comes in for the Knicks, he's basically your offense. He saved you the last 2 games y'all played. He's came in the game and basically saved the team. So, I mean, I've had said him starting, but yeah, if he stays on the bench, it's 6 man of the year. It's Alec Burks.
All right. Defensive player of the year.
Well, I gotta say Draymond. I gotta say it's Draymond Green.
Draymond's always been solid defensive, so
he's underrated defensively, and the Warriors again have a top 3 defense. And when you think their defense, he's the name that pops up.
Okay.
He can guard multiple positions, unlike some people, that 7-foot Frenchman over there in Utah, who all he does is stand behind the basket all game and block shots, and we get impressed because a 7-footer can block a 6'4" point guard. But
damn, what are you
shots already? I love it.
We do that because he let Terrence Mann score 34 points against him. I want you to think about that. Terrence Mann had 34 because his big ass didn't want to go out to the corner. That's all he had to do. He's standing in the corner looking right at you. He just walk out there. Nope, let's let him shoot it. He drops 34 points. Utah gets bounced out the first round of the playoff. But we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, he said the worst team in the league is the Lakers.
It might just be they got talent. They can't win a game, so it might just be the worst team in the league.
All right,
yeah,
so
my defensive player is Draymond.
That's a good one. Let's go to rookie of the year. Keem, your rookie of the year choice.
It's Evan Mobley. Jalen Green would have had a chance had he not got hurt, but Evan Mobley, because he's averaging almost a double-double. He shoots well from the field, and he's basically this version. He's the modern-day version of Chris Bosh. That's why I really was surprised that Toronto didn't draft him, because his game offensively is so similar to Chris Bosh. I automatically thought that they would see him and think Chris Bosh and draft him. But apparently the Cavaliers thought that, and that's why they're able to use him at the 4 and play a 5 next to him.
Imagine drafting, Mobley, and then how there's been trade talks with Siakam, and you trade Siakam for something, that could have been a dangerous Raptors team. Or if you would have kept, you keep Siakam alongside with Mobley, it would have been nice.
Because you could slide Siakam to the 3rd.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. And last one, Keem, MVP.
MVP.
The most important one.
I'll be honest. Nah, it would be if they were winning games. It would be LeBron. If you look at his stats, if they were winning, it would be LeBron.
Okay,
but I have to go with Curry because of the fact that people think I hate on the Warriors. No, I just didn't like the Warriors when Kevin Durant went there for absolutely no reason. But I've always liked the Warriors when they were the strength in numbers because they play team basketball. They move without the ball. They pass the ball. They play defense as a team. They're very unselfish and they're well coached. So I say Curry because we looked at, and though everybody wants to change that opinion, we looked at this roster and said, best case, they can stay 500 without Klay Thompson. And then when Klay Thompson comes back, they don't make a run. But to have the best record in the league, I don't think people were saying that with that. Jordan Poole is his sidekick in action. If you telling me that you said you thought a combination of Curry and Jordan Poole was going to have the best record, yeah, nice try. You're not trying to finesse me. So that team, I know some people say Jokic, but I'm like, okay, but look at his team's record versus the Warriors' record right now. So I say Curry, and I think when Thompson comes back, if he's even 75% of what Klay Thompson is, then I'm going to be honest, as a Laker fan, because right now the Lakers, I can't put them they're not championship worthy. If he comes back 75% of who he is, Klay Thompson, that is, then your NBA champion this year is going to be the Golden State Warriors.
All right. Good one. All right, Soto, what about you, bro? What's your MVP?
MVP? Oh, it's Curry. It's Curry. I mean, listen, MVP's about what? The impact you have on your team. Warriors are 27-7. I don't think anybody expected that, and it's just like Curry's having one of those seasons like similar to that season where he won the MVP, where he's just doing all these shots and they're just hitting. But it's just the impact that he has on the team. But again, if it wasn't for Curry, I jokingly said LeBron, it would be LeBron 100%.
Yeah.
The fact that he's singly carrying that Lakers team, because AD, who's supposed to be, in my eyes, the man injury woes. Then you have Westbrook, who was brought in to just like, kind of like to bring that chip to LA, and we know the playing styles don't fit. So, so LeBron is doing a little bit of everything. Actually, LeBron is doing everything. And he's doing all this while also facing a groin issue. Like every day before a game, he's on the injury report with a day-to-day. It's like, we don't know if he's going to play or not, So he's not fully 100%. And just to be doing this at age 36, 37, it's like, it's pretty incredible. So, with the Lakers record, that's why I was like, all right, let me pick Curry instead. But let's say if that turns around, then I think LeBron could be, could surpass Curry 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see what else we got. Rookie of the year, Soto. Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. I was thinking Mobley, but I think Scotty Barnes is right there with him. For me, it was hard to really. It's hard for me to really choose because they're both having somewhat of a stats wise. They're having a really similar season. I probably give the edge to Barnes a little bit, but it by the end of the season it could flip flop. It could be either Barnes or Mobley, so one of those two.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Defensive player of the year. I have a feeling who you're gonna say.
Draymond. Next question. Draymond. It's not even close, to be honest with you.
All right. Yeah, I have one that's different than Draymond, but Draymond's pretty much neck and neck with this one. But you keep going.
What do you mean keep going? What's the next thing?
No, what you were saying about Draymond. You were saying
no. I'm just saying, like,
not the next category.
I mean, I know a lot of people want to put Gobert, but it's like he pretty much just said it. Like Draymond could really guard 1 through 5. And that's the type of player you need.
Gobert is not in any award race this year for defensive player of the year, thank God.
And again, just piggyback on what Keem said. Defensive rating wise, Warriors are number 1. And that's why, and that along with the season that Curry is having, that's why there's 27-7.
Yeah.
And a lot of people before the season, they're like, oh no, Clay, it's just Curry. They, a lot of people just, oh, it's only Curry. They're probably gonna make the play-in tournament. No, they're number 1 or number 2 or but you have the number 1 record in the league, so not a lot of people expected that. And I think Draymond is running away with this. To be honest with you.
Okay. What about 6th man of the year?
All right. So 6th man of the year, that's kind of tough. If I were to pick one, it would probably be. I mean, yes, he hasn't played a lot of games, but from what he has done, it'd probably be Tyler Hero.
Okay.
As of right now, scoring 20 points per game, kind of like giving Miami that lift, since Jimmy Butler has missed a couple of games, so he's kept them in it, and Miami sitting with a 22-13 record, first in their division. Tyler Hero has played a big part of that, so he's provided that scoring boost that that's needed to win games. So yeah, Tyler Hero.
All right. Most improved.
A lot of people could go with Bridges. I think Keem said Maxey. That's and then I think in the beginning of the year, I think I predicted Poole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be biased though. I'm going to pick Dejante Murray.
I knew it. I didn't want to say it, but I was like in my head, I'm like, I know someone's going to go with Dejante Murray, but I was like, let me let him get his moment.
He's having an absolute breakout year. If you compare, from what he did last year he averaged like 15, 16.
Across the board too.
Yeah, career exactly. So he's he's almost averaging a triple double. If you really look at it, he's averaging almost 18, 8 and 8, 8 and 9. So again, as of right now, as we currently sit in the standings, he has the San Antonio's at 10, like right at the play-in tournament. But again, looking at the Spurs team, nobody, I mean, I didn't personally, me, being a Knicks fan and a Spurs fan, I didn't expect San Antonio to even enter the play-in tournament. But just I think Dejante Murray is the heart and soul of San Antonio right now, and he's doing absolutely everything, and he's doing everything correctly for that team. So Dejante Murray.
Not to make you feel worse, when they were drafted, Frank Ntilikina and Dejante Murray, there was a rumor that the Spurs were considering the possibility of trading Murray for Frank Ntilikina.
Well, thank God that didn't happen. Because I still want the Spurs to be relevant.
God.
But yeah, no, but it's crazy how much he's improved, because when the Spurs selected him, I'm like, all right, like let's see what this kid got. And the fact that if you take what he's done the last 5 games, right? Well, the last 5 games he's played, he has, for example, I'm a big assist guy, so he has 13 assists, right? No turnovers. 13 assists, 2 turnovers. 9 assists, 2 turnovers. 11 assists, 2 turnovers, and then 9 assists. Like, he does it all for that team, and he's just having a breakout year. And again, there's others that we just mentioned that are having that breakout year, but I'm just leaning towards Dejante Murray.
All right, and the last category, Soto's favorite coach of the year.
Coach of the year, I decided, like, I'm not gonna go with one that's too obvious. There is, you could go with Steve Kerr, you could go with Steve Nash, you could go with Billy Donovan, but I'm gonna go with Taylor Jenkins, coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. And the reason why I picked them is the fact that they're sitting 4th in the Western Conference, 22-14, and their best player was injured for 12-13 games so far. And they've managed to find ways to win. And if you look at that team was never complete, because to start off the season, Dillon Brooks, I think, missed 20 games.
And Jackson started out too.
Right. And then you lose Morant, which at that point everybody's like, all right, well, Memphis is done, so you can count them out. And no, they stayed in the hunt. They kept fighting and grinding.
They did good.
And they're sitting at 4. And I feel like he's done a terrific job. Just I just keep their identity out there, that even though we don't have everyone, like, they're tough, and a lot of I'm sorry to say this, Keem, but a lot of that showed when they last played against the Lakers. Sorry, Keem.
Russell just passes the ball, we win the game.
But
he said that, he said that so like just like disheartened. He was like, they would have passed the balls.
Not like listen, this team is very talented, very special. I like the blend with young guys, with Bane, Morant, and then you have and Jackson, and then you have experience with Steven Adams, Kyle Anderson. So it's a nice blend. So Taylor Jenkins.
All right,
got you.
I mean, the mines, I'll just make it quick. I'm not going to really go into a long detail. Coach of the year, obviously Steve Kerr would be the obvious choice for everybody, but I'm not going to go that either. I'm going to keep it going different. Everybody seems to have a different coach. I'm going to go. No, hell no. I have a feeling. No, I was going to say Probably Eric Spoelstra. He has really good team. A lot of the players are playing well this year. Obviously,
Right.
Kyle Lowry was a great pickup for them. So is PJ and everything else they got there. Spoelstra's always been a good coach that's always overlooked. He's been solid for a long time.
Mhm.
So I think definitely for me it would be Coach Spo. I think that's a good one.
That's a good one. They dealt
And
with
then
injuries, COVID protocol. That's a good one.
And a runner up for me, I'll give a runner up. So I'm just going a little quicker. A runner up for me would be Wes Unseld Jr. for Washington because obviously they had that stretch where they were playing well too. And he's a player development coach. So I think that would be my second choice.
Gotcha.
Most improved. Obviously, Soto had Dejante Murray. You had Tyrese Maxey. I'm gonna go Tyler Hero. Yeah, he's stepped it up a lot this year. He's scoring a lot more. He's actually rebounding better, assisting the ball better. And he's playing way better than before. Guys, hold on a second.
I think your dog doesn't agree with that, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm about to say that dog said cat.
Your dog
Yeah.
was
That dog was like,
"Yo,
cat,
why
cat,
you
cat.
capping?"
Yeah, he got mad. No, yeah, for me it would be
Said Tyler Hero, what?
No, for most improved, yeah, because he's
Oh,
averaging
dogs.
20. He's averaging 20 points per game, and then the second one would be Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges has been playing well this year. Shout out to him. He's playing a ton better. He's rebounding the ball. He's shooting the ball better from three, which everybody said that was the knock in his game that he couldn't shoot the three ball. So I think I know he's shooting over 30. I'm sure. I think it's around 33
You
or
know what it
34.
is too? It's also the LaMelo effect.
Yeah, I agree. Let me see what else. Six man. I mean, some people have Tyler Hero. I'm gonna throw Jalen Brunson out there from the Mavericks.
Okay.
Threw a different name out there.
He's been a dark horse for a few seasons now.
He's been playing really well. He's averaging a good amount of points, assists, rebounds. He's running the team well when he had some spot starts and he comes off the bench. And probably for me, a second one would probably be probably a tie between Patty Mills and Carmelo. I mean, Carmelo's been hitting a lot of threes this year and playing solid on offensive end.
Melo's buckets. Don't. It's your day. You trying to ruin my day? We not even at 1 o'clock. We're at 12:30. You just keep taking more shots at
And
me.
Patty Mills and Patty Mills has been good. So I'm not like that. He's a
Snap again.
No, he disagrees with you again. That's crazy.
Sorry, guys. He sees a squirrel. I'm sure this could all be edited out when we do the thing.
Nah, I don't think it's a squirrel. I think it's your takes.
Defensive player of the year. All right, so everybody had pretty much Draymond. I think I agree with Draymond, but I'm also going to throw another name out there that is not really talked about. Macau Bridges. Macau Bridges is having a really good year for Phoenix. He's been really solid. He's more of a 3-and-D player now. I think he's sort of another reason why the Suns are playing well, along with the whole team playing well, obviously. But I think his defense has really stepped up this year. Obviously, for fantasy purposes, just talking about fantasy, obviously it doesn't show in the fantasy end of it, but he plays really good defense.
I'm gonna say something, but Soto, don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Don't send the federales to my house when I say this one. Okay, he's looking like young Kawhi, not superstar Kawhi, young Kawhi. The Kawhi when he started coming into his role alongside Tony Parker, Ginobili, and Duncan. He's becoming that elite level perimeter defender that can give them 10 to 15 points a game. But the biggest thing he provides is they can put him on any team's perimeter scorer, and he makes it difficult for them to allow Chris Paul and Booker to focus on scoring.
Shout out to
Kawhi did for Parker
for trading him.
Yeah. Don't hurt Pete's feelings. Pete's not you hurt.
Shout out to the Sixers for trading him.
They traded him for a player that never even played for the 76ers.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Shout out to the Sixers for that. Rookie of the year. I'm going to go the route Soto went because he said he obviously had Mobley and Scotty Barnes. I'm going to go Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes has been solid across the board. Everybody thought he wasn't really going to be in that consideration, that, shooting would be a problem, that he would be inconsistent. He's pretty much solid across the board with everything. I think he's averaging over 15 points. I want to say about 7 rebounds maybe and about 3 or 4 assists a game. And I think he has a block and a steal a game too, if I'm not mistaken too. So He's playing pretty well. I mean, especially Toronto. Obviously, everybody thought Toronto was going to be like the bottom feeder team because of injuries and everything else. Scotty Barnes playing well. He's proven that he's up there with Evan Mobley. And then the other candidate for Rookie of the Year would be Cade Cunningham, who's starting to come along as well. We can't knock Cade out of there as well because his scoring, his rebounding, his assist, and even his shooting is starting to come into play. So I think it would be Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley, and Cade, probably top 3. And then MVP, I'm going to go different route because everybody has Curry, whatever, and I'm going to go based on.
Your dog is back there again. Be careful.
He sees a squirrel. Get down.
Nah, he smells the bullshit.
Yeah, actually, no, this is not even bad. I'm going to go based on what Keeney's dad said. LeBron, age 37, he's doing things that a lot of players and their later 30s don't typically do. And he's doing. He's carrying the Lakers right now, even though they're not winning. He's still having a good year.
At least your dog agree with you.
So all the drinks you could have had this morning, you chose Petty. That's what we're doing. You just said, I'm going to get up and have me a cup of some Petty today. I'm just going to take as many shots possible. LeBron, the Lakers is under 500. Where he winning MVP?
Yeah, but here's the thing though. MVP doesn't mean that you have to have a winning record. MVP means most valuable player. It means you'll be most valuable to your team. And Lakers are still going to make the playoffs. Maybe it'll be the play-in game. Maybe it'll be 5th seed, whatever it may be. Lakers are still making the playoffs. They're still too good of a team not to make the playoffs. They will get it together, but
since you sounded like Miss Cleo over there today, what else your crystal ball is telling you? Because I don't. All right, I'm looking at this team. I don't see it, Miss Cleo.
He brought the Jamaican accent. Oh shit!
I don't see it.
Oh no!
You're more optimistic than me. I'm seeing not make the playoffs.
No, but yeah, I think LeBron, just for the way he's performing this year, I think he's shooting pretty much. He's really efficient. He's carrying the team. Listen, him and Russell Westbrook had triple doubles the other day, but LeBron's triple double was 10 times more efficient than Russell Westbrook's triple double ever has been in his life.
So like 8 turnovers with that triple double.
Yeah, because it's like when LeBron does a triple double, there's a big W behind that. But when Westbrook, goes for a triple double, there's a big question mark behind that.
Yeah, and
it's it could be a win or a loss. It's like
it goes to the mentality that Keem and his dad both mentioned earlier. It's called the get mine mentality. Russell Westbrook's going to get his regardless, whatever. And that doesn't help team basketball, but I mean, it is what it is. So I pick LeBron, and second, I probably pick Curry.
Okay.
I want to go a different route. I didn't want to just go the same route everybody else does. I mean, we could always agree stuff, but it's always good to have like a different perspective. Like if we had a 4th person in here, I probably would have maybe disagreed. But since there's only 3 of us, obviously 2 of us have similar picks.
I'm just sitting here now, like I just can't wait till Julius Randle is back, so they could just do ISO Randle again. So the amount of pain that you just gave me, it could be reciprocated watching him do ISO Randle.
I already know the pain's coming, so I ain't really too.
You said Melo for 6-man, like as if like that's cool.
Melo shooting career highs.
Okay, we're just gonna talk about how Melo was playing well and is getting wasted. Then you're gonna say LeBron playing well for MVP and it's getting wasted. Why don't you just freaking throw in Frank Vogel as coach of the year? Let's take the whole cake at this point.
All right, let's throw in Frank Vogel without joking.
No, we're not doing that.
No, I ain't throwing Frank Vogel in. No, I just mean real LeBron because I think a couple seasons he's gotten sort of hosed for his MVP. Yeah. And now that he's proven a lot of people wrong, that age is not really affecting him at all. No. I'll be honest with you. So, I mean, like, that's how I see it. Like, the problem with the Lakers is not LeBron. And it's not even AD being made of glass. The problem with the Lakers is, besides perimeter defense, is and has been since the first day they traded for him, Russell Westbrook. Point blank. Point blank. I'm just going to throw that. Same thing for the problem with the Knicks. The problems all season with the Knicks since day one has been and will continue to be Julius Randle ISO ball. So I'm going to keep it real with that. So, I mean, until the Knicks could fix the ISO Randle problem and until the Lakers could unload Russell Westbrook for whatever the fuck they can get for him, they're both going to be in a lot of shit. So,
okay.
I'm gonna keep it real.
And
But I do think Melo should be in consideration for 6 man of the year. He's shooting a career high from 3 this year. He helps that second unit with the scoring with the 3 ball because we all know the Lakers had a little bit of inconsistency last year with the 3 ball. They're actually a lot better this year when it comes to Melo on the second unit and some of the other players. Even though Avery Bradley has his games where he's
Melo and Monk have been, and Wayne Ellington when he does play. That's the 3.
Yeah, but I'm saying they have a better year. But Melo should be in consideration. Same thing with Jalen Brunson. It's not to take shots. It's just seeing it from a statistical standpoint and how they're impacting their respective teams and units. But yeah, for the Lakers, Russell Westbrook, get your shit in order. Julius Randle, stop playing like a dumbass. You're not the only player on that whole game team.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Henry Cruz rant of the day. What you buy the Sounds of Hardwood podcast.
You're an idiot. Because I had to say that because you made it seem like I was taking a shot at the Lakers. Not at all.
I feel like he's been holding that shit in.
I know he was turning red. I could see it building up. He was like, I got to get this one out.
I thought I saw Hulk right now.
No, we're good. But no, yeah. I mean, those are everybody's picks.
When he's transitioning into the Hulk.
The Hulk, yeah. So it's only fair though. So you got a hot take. Henry gave us his hot take. Russell Westbrook, get your shit together, and Julius Randle, get your shit together. Those are his takes.
Hey, I'm not wrong with those takes.
No, I mean not really a hot take. It's probably going to be fantasy related.
Henry, stop picking up so many damn players. That's what you gonna say?
No, my team is coming along great. In my money league, there's this backup center for Miami Heat. He's been absolutely killing it.
You talking about Omer or Dwayne Dedmon?
No, Omer, you're at 7.
So
that was the player I had shout out when one of the podcasts earlier that I mentioned that was going to be a sleeper player this year.
Oh, really? Well, he's been killing it, and you know what?
Yes, sir.
I'm losing in my money league. I'm 9-1, but it's all right. I can afford some losses. But no. If you really want to, I'll take I think since I have the Knicks hoodie on, it has to be Obi Toppin. And it has to be that this is a golden opportunity. Wait, time out. There's a hot take by Coach Norman Fisher. Hot take: Nets will not make it to the NBA Finals. Yeah, I can agree with that.
I don't really think that's.
I can agree with that. I don't really see them as a power dominant powerhouse.
They can't win the final. They can't make it to the finals if Kyrie can't play whole games.
So you're gonna disrespect Knicks and Claxton like that? Like Claxton ain't out there hooping.
Who?
So you acting like Claxton not carrying this team right now? If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be winning.
He regressed this year, bro.
So what happened with KD? Did he die or something?
Hey, look, we got to say something obvious other than the outside 2 players. We know.
All right. Well, hold on. Time out. Since Coach said that, which team will knock out the Nets?
It depends on who they play.
Since
right
his hot take is the Nets won't make it to the NBA Finals.
So they're the first seed.
So yeah, they're currently the first seed.
So
I mean,
if they made it to the Bulls, they probably would play the.
The Bulls are half a game behind. Just to.
It's very
he said the Bucks.
I was
gonna say even the Bucks or the Sixers.
I was thinking the Bucks too. I was thinking of just being a troll and saying the Knicks just a troll, but the Bucks realistically knock them out again.
The Sixers,
realistically, Bucks or Sixers.
Okay.
Being a troll, Knicks.
Okay, I gotta get up there in the standings a little bit. I mean, I can't talk, but you get the point I'm saying. You gotta climb in the standings. You gotta have a hot take because me so have been slandering all over your damn thing all podcast. If the hottest thing I can get is on preheat, which would be just trade Russell Westbrook. That's like the obvious one. It's like, okay, obvious says
trade
Russell Westbrook. I would be John Wall. That'd be the best.
There's only 2 contracts right now that he could be traded for.
I would trade down. We're not going to get Ben Simmons.
No, it's not Ben Simmons. No.
So,
hell no, going to get Ben Simmons. That's not even. I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't getting Ben Simmons, but there's 2 contracts. It's
listen,
Kevin Love.
Listen,
I'll take either or.
You can't really say, "Oh yeah, I'm not getting." Ben Simmons' value is at an all-time low. You never know. You just never know if, like, Philly's like, "Yo, fuck it, just give me Russell Westbrook at this
James, you
point."
know what I mean? James could reach out and be like, yo, I'll go play with Philly if y'all get Russ. You never know. I mean, that happens. Kawhi did it with Paul George. He was like, yo, go to LA. I'll pull up. So you never know. James might go, I'll play with Russ and Embiid if y'all get him. That devastate these newfound Nets fans because who would they root for now?
The newfound Nets fans.
They'd be out of luck. They'd have nobody to root for now. The Barclays Center would just be sitting there collecting dust at that point.
Sure.
But I don't have a hot take. My hottest take, I already said, I think the if Klay Thompson comes back healthy, then the Warriors are your NBA champion. That's my hottest. And I'll be fair. But that brings us to the end of this week's episode of Sounds of Hardwood podcast. It was a good episode. Had some laughs. Had some fun. Henry decided
had some trolls.
Yeah, Henry wanted to troll me today. I didn't know I woke up this morning to get trolled in the podcast, but apparently that's what I signed up for. So you got to start buying some name brand Nick apparel, bro. You got to stop spending $15-$20 on your Nick apparel, bro. That's disrespectful. You got to slide down to the Nick store, Nike something, bro. Foot Locker. I mean, one of them at least spending $25 or more. That's a reasonable price tag there. But
I gotcha.
If you missed, oh wait, hold on, wait. He's breaking out something. Oh, it's Nick Beanie. Okay, he got the Nick Beanie out. So he got Nick gear head to toe out here. He just don't got no Nick shorts on. He's trying to bring back N1.
These are Nikes.
It's Nike? Oh, my fault, Kel. I thought this was an N1
Don't disrespect me.
I thought he was bringing back N1. Hey, don't wear Nike around Kenna. He gonna come for you. Don't do that.
Ooh.
Remember, it's freedom now, so I can't say Canada no more.
Well, ESPN got both. They got in this Canada freedom, so I just said the Canada. My apologies, sir. My apologies. But if you missed any part of our live podcast, it is on our YouTube channel, Sounds of the Hardwood. If you prefer to listen to an audio version, we post it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor, Sounds of the Hardwood Podcast. And we wish everyone a happy and safe New Year. Hopefully your New Year's resolutions. Oh, what's y'all's New Year's resolutions? I forgot about
Look
that.
at Coach's comment.
What's the New Year's resolutions?
I don't have one right now. I'll probably come up with one in the next couple of hours.
Well, it doesn't matter because most New Year's resolutions last like a week. You know what I mean? So most people say they go to the gym for a week, they quit, they be a better person for a week. So you don't have to have a long commitment to these New Year's resolutions, it appears.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, I got none.
Henry, you got one?
I haven't. To be honest, I haven't even really thought of one. To be honest, I really got to think of one. But I don't know if there's anything. It would just be.
Well, I want to stream more, so I want to focus more on streaming, on Twitch streaming. So
gotcha. Okay, so that's one.
I think for me, it'd just be to do more things with my family and enjoy life and have fun. I know we're in hard times with COVID and everything like that, so I think just spending more quality time with my family and involving them in more things. Obviously,
that warmed my heart.
That would be
I feel like a Hallmark card. Don't care.
Yeah, it is. But oh shit. Your dad just would be keep believing that Nick. Sorry. Holy shit. Keep believing that the Knicks are a basketball team. Yeah. All right, podcast over.
You better not let B see these
comments. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.
They're real to me, damn it.
You got the Nick gear over head to toe.
Oh shit.
But everybody stay safe out here.
Stay safe.
Enjoy your New Year's Eve, your New Year's. I'll set it backwards for a second there. And let's keep to these resolutions, people. All right. So I'm talking to other people out there that say I want to eat healthy, eat a salad for like 2 days and then give up.
That's why I'm not gonna say that.
Right to McDonald's. The people who get the gym memberships and go for the 2 free days and then stop going. Let's stick to those things. If you should be a better person, then stick to the resolution this year. You know what I mean? Try to be positive out here in these streets. But like always, thanks for watching and thanks for listening. And we'll catch you on the next one. We out.